Hi, I'm Not Yet Dead, and welcome back to No Man's Land. So something a little bit different. I actually had a request to do a tour of the map, and it's something I'd thought about before. But it's just been a while since I've been around the whole map, looked at things I've done, and I'll maybe talk a little bit about things that I'm planning to do, except for the super secret stuff. I've just got myself a new car, which I've been thinking about for a while, so that seemed a good opportunity. I'm sorry it's a wet day, so you may not see it. It's its absolute best. But equally, wet days are always a good day for a drive. We'll zoom out quite a way so you can really see. Maybe occasionally I'll get out of the car or whatever. Plus it's really loud. It's not so bad when it's not idling though, so we can come back in a little bit. Anyway, here we are, the entrance to No Man's Land. Here we are at the store area. I haven't done anything around here, except widen this road and retexture it. When you start with a mud track. I've widened it for a very good reason we'll talk about. That brown patch over there was a brown patch, but there's a grey patch because I did put the hay pallet haul, or whatever it's called, the hay palletizing haul was there, but I removed it. I forget why. Anyway, there's the grey patch there, and I just haven't got around to doing anything with that area since. Actually, we should come this way. One of my projects that is yet to do is to put in place a track along here that takes us to the industrial area. So, looks like I might have a little bit of controller drift. But yeah, so a few of Jim's industrial placements come with the map. That's a root crop sell point, but we've put a pathway around the whole thing that actually we'll park and then we'll have a quick look. I put this in a few flowers just to make it look a little bit less industrial and ugly. These are all Jim's creations. I flattened the ground to do it, and in so doing then put a sort of rock escarpment coming down, which actually looks like it could do with a bit of work. The texturing's not quite as good as I might like. My skills in landscaping have clearly improved since I did this. So most of these are purely decorative, if you know anything about No Man's Land, except for the sell point over there, and Missy B's slurry and manure sell point, which is over here, which with some of these wonderful contraptions actually provides us electricity, which is what these are. So there's only a few of these because I have to think about slots, but so we've got our sort of, I don't know, whatever you'd call it, organic electricity generation point kind of thing going on, which actually, given I've got so much digestate, I probably ought to come and use. So that's that, all hedged in along here. Make it look a little bit more pretty, but as I need to put a road in because I haven't got around to putting that in yet, or a track or something. So that needs to come in along here. Oh, controller drift, stop it. Is it controller drift or a mod? Steering seems very sensitive. So yeah, that'll come in somewhere along here, I'm not sure. We come back to our main road. So, when Jim brought out the bridge, and I saw it, I thought, I could do something with that. So here we have our flyover. So I've made us a dual carriageway to justify it, which of course, then means you can, when you get to here, because of the dual carriageway, if you want to go the other way, careful traffic management, traffic flow management, you have to come this way, past our biogas plant, which again, all Jim's except for the weigh station there. That weigh station cost me a heck of a lot of slots. I think I will remove it and probably replace it with one of Jim's bridges, which is actually quite effective looking. All fenced in, as you can see, a few trees, a few hedges. There's some more trees being planted that are still growing. I planted some before I put seasons on, but they got too big. So once seasons was in, I replanted trees. Thanks to Titch for the guide. I hope they turn out okay, but Titch & Co gave me a guide as to, she'd done some tests of tree planting distance against height. So we'll try that, see how it looks. So yeah, so this is our flyover. So again, we've got a rocky escarpment taking us up. Nice road on the top, as you can see the snow's melting. Onto our flyover bridge, supported by a piece of the rock face that's been left standing in the middle. And then we come back down the other side. It took a bit of doing. A few trees planted just to soften it a bit, make it look a bit more natural. Yeah, I kind of like that nice smooth flow down, ignoring the snow, and then that means that if you want to go back onto the road, you come this way and go back again. And that's that. A few lights to light it up at night, nothing major. Right. Few Jim's road markings, again, just to make it look. I did think about putting on there actually. Maybe I could still, but again, it's all slots. Just to do that, I'd have to do the individual little stripes. It would be tricky. Yeah. I was very pleased when I made that. Really enjoyed doing that, even if it did take quite a long time. So, following the road, this road is actually, according to Jim's original, most of the roads are, not all of them, but most of them. And we come to our pub, our village pub. Definitely worth a look. We've got some changes in texture. When I first started doing the roads, they were all gravel like this. I've then changed some of those to sort of more concretey tarmac look. I'm gradually changing those as I go a little bit. I've got a plan in my head as to what should be gravel, what shouldn't, but that's being updated. So, the pub, lovely bit of fencing on the outside, a few lamps, nice sort of bark chip floor, but gravel going around to the service area around the back here, where we've got our sell point and some rubbish. And I'm sure was that me? Oh, maybe that was just slow so I could get it. Yeah, so we've got it's the pub sell point or something. There's a few barrels that I've put down here, and of course some wood for the fire inside. But if you come around this way, in the summer, maybe not now, there's a beer garden. Trying to think how many slots this cost me. Again, got a nice bark chip surface, a few tables to sit at, a few lights, a few barrels, so you can just sort of stand up and have a drink at a barrel instead of sitting down at a table. Little slide for the kiddies. Lots of lovely flowers, couple of trees. Nice. I really like this area. And all thanks to Jim's inspiration of having my nice local country pub on no man's land. And of course, all pubs, especially in the country, need a car park for the designated driver. So we've got a park. Again, I'd gravelled this originally, and it was a bit it was sort of stood out a little bit. So I've resurfaced it with bark chip. Plenty of space. Must be the owner's car in there. Right, moving along. Coming to No Man's Land Village. To get to which we go through a ford. We'll talk about fields and stuff in a minute. So I've got the garage, little house for the owners, little workshop, pumping station, police box so that if you feel unsafe you can call the police. Got the spinnery, all from Jim. Then the village itself, the sort of houses for the workers, etc. So few villages. What you'll see here, and these are now spring's coming, these will get worked on, is each of the houses, each of the bigger houses at least, has a nice garden at the back, all surrounded by hedge. But I've also ploughed out some nice field, some nice flower beds for them. So these now need planting up. First spring since I did that, and well, won't be that long before I need to mow the lawns again. But they've all got nice tracks, pathways. Again, the sort of bark chip finish around the back to get to the various doors. It's only right to walk around like this. And then these are the cheaper cottages. This was again an idea of Titch & Co's that I just had to steal. This is my take on it. So you've got these sort of back-to-backs, little shared area out the back where they can sit and have a barbecue, put their washing out, that'll be getting wet. And again, there's plenty of wood for the fires, for the people that live here. All bark chipped, but all landscaped, nice gardens out the front, etc. Come round here. So here's another one of the bigger houses that again has got pathway down the side, hedges to the borders, and again some areas for them to plant. This one must be a fancy person's because it's got a really big garden. But yeah, there's some flower beds that are just ready for me to plant up now. Spring is here. Coming around. And then at each end of this, there's some parking bays for the people that live here. Playground for the kids at the back. Again, bark textured rather than sand, I think, you know. Just my idea. And then the basketball court for the grown-ups to play, or the kids if they want. But out of each of these, so you can walk through the basketball court, and there's a little exit on the other side that takes you out to the fields. And then equally, did I not do that? Oh yeah, there's a footpath. Oh, why have I left a trailer here? I'm mid between videos, so ignore that. It's not there. Yeah, so then it brings you out onto this track that takes you round these fields. So there's a field through here which I've just about squeezed through to. It's quite big. And another one just around the corner. In fact, we could drive around here at some point. So let's get back to the car. Yeah, and as I said, more parking over this side as well. But actually, while we're here, just come round. And then there's another one over there, another one of these houses, lots more of Jim's road markings. That was my house for a little while. Once I'd demolished the old shack that was I was originally living in when I moved here. I moved into that one, but I've had to vacate because we've got people coming in. So, take our road down here. I can't remember if this is one of Jim's. I think it might have been. Got a river that, to be fair, is unfinished, but it's there anyway. We'll connect up again with that later on. And that comes from our sort of mill pond here. This is our sawmill, wood chip sell point, wood sell point. Again, a few little objects, sheds, some wood placed, wood store. And there is the start of our waterway, if you like, because it comes down out of that hill. You can see there's the bottom of the stream just there, all that rock formation. That also needs finishing. I haven't continued that back up yet, but I've got more plans for this area. Shh, don't say anything. And we've got in the middle of our lake here, our pond, a little island. We'll just go for a paddle. Got a few trees, a couple of big rocks. It's quite a nice spot, really, when it's not raining. So yeah, so that's that. I say all of this, I haven't finished texturing this yet, as you can see. We've sort of got the sandy texture here, but that needs going all along there. So I've got all of that to do still. But you know, I'm busy farming as well, you know. And I know I could have done it. I know loads of people sort of came on a map, designed it, and then, but I wanted to sort of do it as a process of building as I go along. I cut the trees through to get to here. Actually, no, so this can't have been a road because I cut these through. Plans for something here as well. But yeah, so we follow our river back down. That goes all the way back round to the ford behind the sheep, you know, the spinnery here. So we'll meet up with the river again a bit later on. In the meantime, let's head to No Man's Land Foods, which is here. I had to use this when it came out. Unfortunately, because there's no collisions on the top of the building, I couldn't put the lettering on top of the building. But this lights up at night. It looks, I love it, it's really cool. So yeah, so here we've got No Man's Land Foods, because here is where the bakery and dairy are. So come round. Sell points at the back. bakery, dairy, all fenced in. And there are trees growing. Again, I've refreshed the trees when I started on seasons, so they're still growing at this point. I cut down the other ones, some of which are still waiting for me to take them away. I've cleared all these ones, but there's a load more elsewhere that need taking apart, taking and selling. And actually just behind there, and I'm just about to plant a new field in the next video, is the wood chip sell point, or straw, well, the biomass, I suppose, sort of sell point that came with the straw harvest. Is it straw harvest? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, here, and a fairly new addition, is our dairy. Gone slightly more industrial, slightly more conglomerate-ish, so all our dairy cows are in there. I still need to try and see if I can retexture this, because I don't like having it in this base concrete texture. Cows don't live on concrete. It needs to be muddy and brown dirt. But yeah, so that's that. Again, we've got trees growing. The wall took some placing, but it's not bad. There's a few bits that could be slightly closer. And the gates as well. I like it. It's, yeah. And then around here, of course, we've got the slightly more presentable front entrance, if you like, which again has got trees growing in it, which are still growing. So that's for our dairy herd. But then around this side, we've got a small field just to raise a few beef cattle. Look busy. So yeah, so they're in there. I've had issues with feeding at that that pasture, so I may yet change that. But the two are connected so that, you know, they're part of the same operation, but obviously one's for dairy cattle, one's for beef cattle. That road finishes there. I've got plans, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know I've got plans to do stuff around here, and there's a reason that snow is as it is. Again, the wall ends here and it's hedged the rest of the way, but I did want it, I love this wall, it's fantastic. So that's got stuff to do. There's another top secret plan that's going to happen up there as well, which I don't even know if it's going to work, so we'll have to see. Let's take a sip of coffee. Right. Tell you what we'll do. Let's go this way. So the farm is just to our right. We'll come to that in a minute. Whoa, snow. As you can see, that's as far as I got with putting the road in. But I like the fact that I'm developing it as I go along. It gives me the opportunity to think about it, try different things out. Whoa, good sliding. Wow, really? Is this really a four-wheel drive? I'm not sure. And here we have the No Man's Land White Horse. I probably shouldn't show you too close. It doesn't look as good the closer you get to it. This took some doing. There it is, the No Man's Land White Horse. Had to use the same concrete texture, of course. And there's a viewing point up here. This all needs doing. I've got plans for up here, but there's a viewing point. Right above the No Man's Land White Horse. Actually, I should put a small walking footpath in down to the White Horse. Actually, that's quite a cool shot. Maybe that'll be our thumbnail. Maybe if I come down here a little bit, do it from here so you get the white horse in the foreground. There we go. Nice. You'll know which one I use. But yeah, so there needs to be a road up here for those fearless people in there, you know, who like to go up here. And again, there's plans up here. My mate Zeke has already put his request in to have his house up here so he has a nice view. I need to do that. Sorry, Zeke, I'm working on it. He's just said he wants a nice, simple cottage, so that's okay. So we'll come along here. Whoa! Oh, there's something very weird about this car. That's very odd. Oh, that'd be a shame to find that out. I've just sold my other one. Oh well. I mean, I suppose to be fair, you wouldn't normally try and turn at these kinds of speeds, would you, I guess? But let's come down this way. I'm thinking this is probably where the road will come anyway, so we'll come down here. And I'll need to carve into the land a little bit. We'll come down here. So as you can see, I've not done a great deal over here. But there will be something. If only so that Zeke can get to his house. I'll figure something out, Zeke, I promise. So, road down that way, which again I think is one of Jim's. Needs a bit of finishing off, but it's functional at this point in time. To the garden centre. There's the garden centre sell point. Here's the garden centre car park. Again, we've got a few lights, etc. I did have a wheelbarrow out here, but it did funny things to the surface, and now I can't change it. Should go around the other way, but never mind. We'll come around the back, because of course no garden centre is complete without a whole load of nice flower beds to show off the flowers that they're trying to sell. And I think I removed a pack at some point. There was something in there. I need to put that back. Yeah, I must have had to reinstall all my mods at some point and forgot one, because actually I had some sacks of seeds and compost and stuff out here. But yeah, so that needs redoing. But I don't come around here very often. And in actual fact, I was thinking the other day, I don't often come to the garden centre sell point, because the prices usually aren't that good, I'm afraid so. But this was one of the first things I put in. I really like it. So we'll come back round, across the rocky escarpment, past the big field. Because up here, we've got the windmill. Now, again, this was pretty early on I did this. This road needs redoing completely. It needs well, it doesn't need resurfacing, I'll leave it to gravel texture, but it needs re-leveling to try and get, so it doesn't have this camber. I need to do that. Oh, got the indicator on. So, car park up there for people visiting the windmill, little bark chip path to walk up to it, but also it's a working mill, so here's our sell point. A bark chip path all the way around. Not quite to the end, because when I did it, I didn't own this bit and it wouldn't let me texture it. I need to sort that out. So come back down the other side. To our stores, our supply point, it's a garden set. It's supposed to be another. Isn't it supposed to be another garden set or farm shop? Farm shop, I think it's called. It's a buy point, but it's also, I've put a few sell points in it as well, just to make it a bit more mixed. So it's, we can come here and buy loose seed, fertilizer, all sorts, but round the back of it, we've got a root crop sell point, which, the name of which escapes me. What is that? Oh, just called root crops. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so there's our root crop sell point. Nice little service road coming around the back here. Can't plant trees there because it's all rocky. But also round the front here, we've got a milk sell point, and again, you can, get some chopped wood here and all this sort of stuff. But we've also got milk sell point and straw and hay pellet sell point. The milk sell point I have a snag with, because it's just listed in here as dairy, which means I can't differentiate between the prices that one is offering and the prices that I'm getting at the other dairy at No Man's Land Foods. So I think I'm going to remove that, which is a shame. But there's a couple of other ones about that are dairy sell points, so I'll probably put one of those in somewhere. So we'll come back down here. This will take us back down to this road. I've no idea how we turn for time, so how about I clock off a second and I'll meet you at the farm. Grief, 24 minutes in, still, we're nearly done. So I've got a few greenhouses. If you watched my last video, and if you haven't yet, why not? They're going to be moved. So a few fields around here. This, of course, is the starting farm. That field over there, I've expanded it, but it's the original starting field. All of these others, of course, I've put in. We'll come this way. This was a field all the way across until I decided it was time to move out of the tent that I was living on the back of my pickup truck and build myself a house. So this is the latest addition to No Man's Land, is my house. Nice sweeping driveway up the front there. Little garden at the back. This needs work here. I put a path in, but it needs beds putting in, and actually needs a doghouse. So yeah, so this needs doing. But we've got a nice path going all around, all the way over to the front, and our rocky escarpment going down. that must be leaking. Look how green that is. There's part of the reason that this is like this is because of the building. I couldn't do anything with this land around here. So I decided that I'd just turn it into a rocky escarpment, which is fine. It looks okay. Oh, strange. Hovering bird. Yeah, so we've got the driveway down. Space for parking guests at the bottom. All nicely hedged in. I did have a slight accident while I was landscaping, so I need to plough out that bit of grass there. And from here, oh, and yeah, there's some weird collisions on these little lights. A couple of them have massive collisions on them. So I have to be very careful driving up and down the drive. Right, yeah, bit of extra parking at the bottom, as I said. And from here, we can go straight into our farmyard. Shortest commute ever, which is kind of the point. A few sheds, various different types. Some chickens roaming around. I'm about to build an industrial chicken unit, but I still keep some in the yard. It's nice to have chickens roaming around the yard. Workshop there, wash bay with drainage grills all the way around it. Got our silo there, track coming out the other side. I'll just do this by sort of, zooming around, moving the camera. Track coming out the side, so you've got in and out of the, it's not really in and out of the farm, but you've got a couple of choices as to how to get out there depending on what you're doing and where you're going. That is the site of the original cottage when you start No Man's Land. So again, that now needs a bit of texturing. The landscaping is partly mine because when I upgraded from the original shack cottage to the nice new one, I landscaped around it, and of course this patch here is where the original barn was, so that might give you some idea if you know the map of I've managed to get myself, oh, that's not convenient, is it really? Just a sec. Right, so I've got myself unstuck. So actually we'll just swing this way a little bit. So yeah, it's a horse pasture through there. Horse paddock, you know what I mean. Little track here coming up through the fields. Nice sort of farm track, a bit rough here and there, a few divots. Suspension on this is a bit soft, isn't it really? But yeah, that's all. I'm not going to go back down that way. I don't want to risk sliding into the poplar field. But yes, there's a few bits down here. I think that shed there, this one, the bale shed, was there originally. All the others are new. This one, its days are numbered. There's the silage clamp over there. I moved the wood crusher, had to get it out the way to put the silage clamp in, but I wanted to keep it because it's a great little building. And another shed of Missy B's just there. So I'll come out this way. So this track actually is the original track. I haven't changed it. I'm not going to retexture it. It looks lovely. I really like it. But if we come left here, this track has been retextured recently. It was gravel originally, but I wanted to make it into more of a farm track. So it now is, and at the same time I put in our new river coming away from Jim's original lake. We've got a river, bridge over, comes past what was until very recently our old dairy, which I've just been sold because I've now moved all the cows to the new unit. But yeah, the river goes all the way around, so we'll meet that again in a minute. This just comes up to this sort of crossroads of roads just here. Got our grass field here, which I'll probably now extend across. So that needs doing. But yeah, the river is unfinished a little bit. A lot of it's done, but as soon as I'd got quite a lot of done on it, it snowed, so I've not been able to do it. Now the snow's gone, I can look back again to doing that. So come down here, take the road. That road there just goes across to No Man's Land Food. Sorry, I should have pointed that out. And back to the village. This farmhouse was relatively early, so it's just another little farmyard, really. So I've got a little house, little track coming in, and that they very kindly buy all my spare bales, so that's that there. Seems slightly out of scale, really. And then there's a shed for them to store their equipment there, little turning bay. And then we've got this track which comes along the edge of these fields and actually goes back. We saw the beginning of it. This again is relatively new, quite rough track, intentionally so. Yeah, that goes back. You can see there the trailer that we saw earlier, the basketball court, etc. So it goes back behind the village. We can take this down here. This field is new, I haven't used it yet. This field I've had for quite a while, but it's only recently been hedged in. It was all open. So I'm just gradually now sort of starting to properly texture these in, get the hedges in, get the tracks, entrance ways into them and all this sort of stuff. I'm going to put a forward in here. That'll need a little bit of work. This is a new field I just cut in my last video. I'm going to put a new field in there as well, gradually building it out, increasing the number of fields for us to work. Here is our sheep pasture. 4 open pastures, all in one field, nice big hedged off. Roughly got it right with the nav mesh, so they tend not to stray too much outside the hedge. And they all stand static until you get near them and they go, look busy, look busy. Yeah, they're starting to get some grass growing in there. And here is, I think, what was the first thing I put in, which is the sweet shop. So, parking for visitors outside the front. Bit of hedging, bit of fencing. Hedge all around. Sell point and house for the owners. Again, first house I put in, probably could come and cut them some nice flower beds as well. Haven't done that yet. You can see there the river continuing round through that sort of rocky escarpment bit. It's just carved its way through that rock over the years. And yeah, bridge over. Past the sheep pasture. A bit damp on the entrance because of all the rain. Those lovely gates. I've used the same gates all around. A, because I really like them, and B, because obviously that then saves on slots. And then we're back down to the biogas plant. So this field, I say, these fields will all be hedged in eventually, just to give it that less open feel, a little bit more what's hiding around the corner. These are all those logs I was telling you about from when I cut these trees down that still need selling. These ones are still growing slowly. And that's it. Back to the biogas plant, back to the flyover. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that little tour of no man's land. Just a quick squiz around. It wasn't as quick as I thought, but you know, hope it wasn't too long. Hope it was interesting. Talked about some of the things that are to be done, some of the things that maybe need to be changed, some of the things that I've hinted at but not revealed too much on, where I've got ideas and things that I'll still want to do. Not 100% sure what we're going to do about FS22 yet. I will go to the FS22 version. I'm curious, but I just I may not do it quickly because I'll start cutting in the roads, the fields, think about sell points, gyms. It won't be releasing with the placeables. Oh, we've got some areas that haven't germinated. Look, it won't be releasing with the placeables as it did originally because Jim's still converting those. They'll come out later, so it means I can't rush to it because I'll need a lot of the items, right, to start doing it. But you know, there's more in base game, so maybe I'll just rethink some of the things that I've done. But yeah, I do hope you found that useful. If you don't watch, I'm putting No Man's Land videos out still. I'm still loving this map, still working on it, so they're still coming out. Occasional time-lapse builds of landscaping and putting in buildings and things, features, in addition to all the FS22 stuff. So likes and subscriptions we very much appreciated. If you're new, love it. If you check out some of my other stuff, that would be awesome. And but whatever you do take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.